Now here's an interesting one. Alex Jones, InfoWars. Now those of us who've studied this gentleman, as we study hopefully everything that is put before us, before we partake of it, we take a very careful view of things, okay? Know that this man is really hand in hand with the government, like Michael Moore, hand in hand with the government. That these persons have been established by the government to appear the alternative media. You see, they are a barrier. We've said this before. They are a barrier set up between the people and government. These take the abuse. They're supposed to take the abuse of the people, and they're supposed to talk on behalf of the people, and the people go, oh yeah, Alex Jones is on our side, he's answered this, and the government must be listening because Alex Jones. We have it in this country. 38 Degrees, it's called, the organisation, one of many organisations, and people sign up to this and say, oh yeah, this organisation is speaking on our behalf. No, it's not. It's being funded and controlled by government. Now this chap here, okay, Alex Jones, his station, remember, put up, and we have evidence and proof of that, so much so that I put an upload on InfoWars showing that InfoWars actually promoted the New York bombing of a dumpster as being real, just as the government wanted it to be. They employed an actress to confirm the government line. Now, the interesting one here, very, very interesting. This is a piece, apparently, a piece of footage that was done some time ago, 2 days before, in fact, it says up here, Las Vegas shooting predicted by Alex Jones 2 days before it happened. He predicted, that's what it says, Las Vegas shooting predicted by Alex Jones 2 days before it happened. Now, as he's working for the government, he would be in the picking no of the government. So therefore, it is doubly ascertained that it was a government operation, a fake operation, in which again and again the stage and the people, that is the audience, and every piece of equipment was transported from one site a quarter of a mile away from the Mandalay Hotel and transported and plonked down outside the Mandalay Hotel, because that's what the footage is showing us. So therefore, from that alone, it's fake. And again, he knew and must have known, because he is associated with government in one way or another. I cannot define which way, because that's hidden. What we can say from the evidence that is presented to us, that he's in with the government.
Fourth.
Hang on.
That's probably a diversion.
Hang on, let me just go back to the beginning. Let's turn it, can we get the volume up?
Is only a few days away. They're saying their operation launches November 4th. That's probably a diversion. I think the attack's coming in the middle of October.
Nice theatre, by the way.
That's just looking at all the pieces. I'd say look for middle of October, but first look for a new Charlottesville, much bigger, or a group of Charlottesville. That's going to be the cover for the detonation. What am I talking about? Here's a story on News Wars. Antifa Army lieutenant radicalized under Islamist's West Point advisor. Devout communist planned revolution on U.S. soil. And then he announces it at West Point when he graduates. Now here's the big story. Infowars.com. It's on drudgereport.com in the middle column. Antifa plans civil war to overthrow the government. Did you hear that? Antifa plans civil.
Right. I think maybe, is that all that is
We're
going to
getting
be?
the AK-47s. We've got the shotguns.
Yeah, basically that's all this clip's about. The first bit that Alex Jones predicted 2 days beforehand. And don't let your eye fall out, buddy boy. Because he knew. He knew. And he put it across in a way that no one could be specific that he was pre-informed of it. So he puts it across. Now, with Alex Jones, it's all theatre. If you notice. It's all theatre, pure theatre. Excitement, excitement, excitement. And he brings these things in. Now, when we sit back and we observe the theatre and the statements that he's made, if we were to go back, let's say 6 years, okay, if we were to call up a video of his 6 years ago, it would be the same theatre, the same fear promoted all the way through. We can go to any year that InfoWars has a video of, okay, and it's all theatre and fear. Who does promote fear? Fear of this, fear of that, fear of the other, and none of it comes to pass. Oh, you're gonna die if you drink milk. The next moment, you're gonna die if you eat eggs. Or you're gonna die if you eat milk. And then the next moment, milk's good for you, eggs good for you, and so on. Aspirins at the moment, bad for you. Then weeks later, aspirins are good for you, and so on and so on and so forth. Keep the pigging thing going. Government. Alex Jones does the pigging same. Fear-mongering. Fear, 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 fear. That's all it's about. You don't want us, we, responsible adults and responsible children, men, women and children, to live without fear. To live a normal life. They want to push fear, fear, fear. Sod that. Up yours, Alex Jones. And you can take your products and you can shove them where the sun don't pig in shine. This fella would probably be gathering from the selling of his products names, addresses, telephone numbers of persons who watch this disinformation program and passes it on to government, passes it on to other businesses, sells them, makes vast amounts of money from it. Basically, at the end of the day, this here is a setup to support the government whilst making vast amounts of money. Pure theatre. You can go into America and you can see all these things going on. Okay? Move from this obese Zionist into the chapels. Okay? Where they're fleecing the people. Pretending, these so-called evangelists, pretending, putting on the theatre, putting on the hallelujahs, the entertainment to fleece people. That's all it is about. It's big business. This is big business. There's a niche in the market. He provides it, and he sells the buggering thing to big businesses, as well as having attachment to the government. How else does he pay for all this pigging setup? Millions of pounds worth of setup. And he's pigging wages and the wages of the staff and the upkeep of his mansion and his cars, his lifestyle, his expensive shoes, shirts and suits and shoes and makeovers. Don't go down the pigging dole, does he? Think about it. You know, we need to think about these things. Where does the money come from? If we were put into this position, where does our money come from? We know what our money buys. We know where our money comes from. How therefore do we increase it to get to the stage of this man here? It's far beyond the selling of the products. The products don't pay for a pigging lifestyle like this. And studios that he has, which he keeps changing areas. I mean, that costs an awful lot of money when you've got to change from one area to another area, as it were, from one building to another building to another building. We see he keeps pigging doing all the way around. That costs an awful lot of money, believe me. It really does. If you look into it, it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling because of all this, all that is involved, the staff that is involved, the removers. It's just everything. The clerical situation, cutting off this, cutting off that, cutting off the other, making certain that this is up and running. So when we go in, it's all up and running. We don't have to do anything else. The desks are there. Communications are there, the computers are set up, and the modems are set up, and everything else is big. Keep doing that as he does. Anyhow, this man is in the know because he's informed of his paymasters, however they pay him, in whatever form of events. And he just obscures them. So people can come back and say, well, he didn't really say Las Vegas. He didn't really say a shooter. He doesn't have to, you see. Even his video here, Las Vegas shooting predicted, you see, by Alex Jones 2 days before it happened. So they're telling us. So there's no defence in saying, oh, he wasn't predicting that. Because it's just been predicted. He's not going to object, is he? Anyhow, let's go. Because I want to get a cup of tea. Don't you, Molly?